I've started.
You started. Okay. Exciting things are happening in the garage these days. And I want to show you. It's very cold. It's late December, almost 2020. Happy New Year. And cold freezing is not a good time to ride motorcycles usually, but it's a good time to buy motorcycles.
Tight squeeze in there.
So, this is the new specimen as of last week. And you may think, wow, this looks an awful lot like this one, which is my favorite longtime 3-year road bike. And that's because it's exactly the same. This bike was sold about, I don't know, an hour and a half away to the south last week. I picked it up the day after the guy posted it. He said that it stopped working and he took it to the dealership. I'm really shortening the story, but he took it to the dealership and they said, oh, the timing chain is broken. You need a new engine. That's the cheapest thing to do. And he said, okay. So I'm talking to him about this and I'm like, oh really? He's like, yeah. So the engine starts and runs for a little bit, but the timing chain's broken, so it doesn't run very long. And I was like, what? That doesn't make much sense. Because if the timing chain was broken, it wouldn't run at all, obviously. I got this bike for a couple reasons. I got it for $950, which is not a bad price. Since it's the winter, I think is part of the reason I got a good deal on it. So I know I could sell it even if it was a blown engine for at least that much money. This bike has a lot of goodies that my bike does not. Mine doesn't have a lot of aftermarket parts. It's pretty plain stock. This is a 2014 Honda NC700X. I picked it up with just under 300 miles on it, and the engine is solid. It's awesome. Never let me down. It won't win any drag races, but it's a good, solid, torquey workhorse. It's pretty awesome. This one is a 2012. Oh, and I've put about a little over 8,000 miles on this one, I should say. This is a 2012 NC700X. Exact same model. This is actually the first year that they started making the NC, which stands for New Concept. And it has just over 8,000 miles as well, so the mileage is pretty comparable. We've got the saddlebags,
which are huge,
and the trunk box. They are huge, and they're Honda. Check out this Honda symbol right here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's right there too. Ooh. Which means this isn't like cheap, generic stuff. This was designed to fit this bike only, and it's expensive. If you look it up, and it's been a while, but it's at least $500 for just the saddlebags. So I'm definitely gonna snag those. Are you getting cold? You look all shaky.
Sorry, yeah. Hopefully the camera's not shaking all over.
I feel bad. Do we need to take a break?
I don't know. I'm not like super cold. I just can't stop shivering, but I'm okay.
You must be cold. Do you want a hat?
Maybe.
Let's get you a hat.
Okay.
Okay, we going?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going way off in the weeds with my dialogue too much. My plain intentions here are to take all the goodies from this bike, put them on my bike, fix this one so it's in good running condition, which I suspect won't be too hard. If it runs a little bit and then dies, I don't think it'll be that bad. And then sell this for close to $2,000. And if my calculations are correct, the aftermarket parts added up, if they're new of course, are close to $1,000 alone. This is stuff that I wouldn't buy for my bike if an opportunity like this didn't present itself. Let's say another. A quick run through of the parts we're going to put on Lady. Of course are the saddlebags, maybe the trunk box, the windscreen, which...
We could probably get a better...
Yeah, let's get a comparison. The stock windscreen on Lady, if I spread my hand, is yay tall. Very short. This is an aftermarket one that's at least literally twice as tall, which is perfect for redirecting airflow.
Yeah.
This one has good hand guards and little screens here. Oh, and I forgot this one. This is an aftermarket engine guard. I don't like the color. It works for this one, but the framing and the engine on Lady is all black. So maybe I'll just rattle can this black heated grips that I may or may not take off.
Oh, hey, look.
Put on lady. What?
I can see myself in the mirror.
Oh, nice. Down here is a center stand. The day before the guy had started having engine issues, he went to the dealer and got a brand new chain and front and rear sprockets. And this is a DID chain. Good quality, good brand. So lady's chain isn't in bad condition, but it has 8,000 miles on it, where this has like 20 miles on it. So might as well take that off and move it over, right? Oh yes, and the wheels and tires. This is the kicker. So lady, we'll have a tender moment with our lady. The reason I got her so cheap, I bought her for $3,000. She had under 300 miles on it. I'm changing my pronouns, she and it.
She is both. It and she.
Okay. So we picked it up for
$3,000 because
see, when you're not here, these are the ones that I have to do like 12 retakes. I'm serious. So thank you for guiding my
thoughts. Yes.
thoughts. So she was in a little bit of a crash when she was brand new. She still had the dealer plate on when we bought her, and as a result of the crash, the front fork was bent, and there's some scarring here. There's a little bit of scarring. She got dropped on the right side.
Can't really see it. That's how minor it is.
It's not bad. The front fender has some damage right here. The pipe.
Oh yeah, that's probably the worst.
The pipe's got dinged over here. And on the brake, you can see we got some asphalt caked inside there. And that's all like that.
Yeah, kind of a sad story.
Kind of sad.
Guy buys bike, crashes bike. Not an uncommon story, but a sad one.
So there was a guy, it was a cop who bought the bike at an auction and replaced the forks because the forks were toast. So the forks were brand new, and he got the bike for his son, but his son was leaving the house and wasn't super interested, so he sold it to us for $3,000. It's a salvage title, of course, which I don't mind because I don't plan on reselling the bike anytime soon, and it had really low mileage, and normally a bike with that mileage we would have paid closer to $7,000 for, so not bad. But the only remaining damage on this bike was on the front rim. So you can see right here.
Oh, I didn't know there was visible damage.
And I don't know if this is where the actual damage is. This is definitely where the impact input happened. As a result, the rim is bent. It is not completely true. You can see on the front, if you look really close at the tread, the left side is worn very heavily and very quickly, where the right side is not. The right side still has tread, so it doesn't even roll directly on center. And it's got a bad habit of being a little bit wobbly at moderate speeds. And that's not really safe. I shouldn't have ridden the bike with such damage, but I am really cheap, and I did have a mechanic look at the wheel though and give me his opinion. He said, "Oh, you're fine. That just don't go like over 100 miles an hour. And you'll be fine." And I'm not a speed demon. Yeah, that's what he said.
Also, most of your riding has been in town, which you haven't been over.
Yeah,
like
I'm not like a cross country guy. I just like to go around town. When I was still going to school, I was just going up and down to campus and back using the bike. So really short jogs. It's been awesome. I love this thing to death. But my plan was to get this fixed because this tire is worn out. The rear tire we've replaced once before, and it's still in decent condition. This is the stock tire, and it's almost totally done for. So my plan was this winter, I knew it was time for a new tire, and I knew that if I put a new tire on, it's just gonna wear the exact same pattern. It's gonna wear out early, and it's gonna be wobbly, which is bearable, but definitely not luxurious as far as the ride goes. The first thought would be to buy a new wheel. They only started building this bike in 2012, so a new wheel would be, I'd have to look it up, but I think it was $600 or $700, which is way too expensive for a cheapo like me. That's close to a third of what I paid for the whole bike. And with this alloy wheel, I called all around town, in fact all north of the state, and Nobody's comfortable trying to true this wheel. They say it's too dangerous, it'll compromise it, which makes sense to be honest. But there's a place in Arizona that has lots of reviews, and I was referred to by other motorcyclists, and they claim to be able to true up a wheel like this, and it would be about 150 bucks. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do that this winter. I'm gonna send this in to that place in Arizona for 150 bucks, true it up, and then get a new tire. But that was before this bike came around. This bike, as far as I know, has zero issues with the front wheel, and the tires are almost brand new. If you look at this gnarly tread, this is like a dual sport type tread even. So I thought, holy cow, this entire wheel and tire are going on lady. Want to make sure that I'm clear that I'm going to tell the seller exactly what I did, that the tire is damaged and that it does wobble. So they will be aware, and I will recommend that they get it trued or replaced. So I'm not being nothing sneaky going on here, but for my convenience, I mean that's my plan. So the rear tire has the same tread and is in great condition. What I might do is just do the same thing as the front and replace the wheel and tire instead of having to deal with the hassle of changing the tire, switching the tires and not the rims, if that makes sense. So in the next video, these will be the subjects. I'm going to be taking all the aftermarket goodies from here, putting it over there. I'm going to be doing some engine diagnostics on this. Hopefully get it to running good condition. And then
That caboose, though.
post it to sell. Yeah.
It's a big booty.
Okay. Things are getting a little cramped in the garage these days with all the bikes and projects and things going on. I'm still doing some small engine repair stuff, and that always takes up space. But
Especially with the new NC, it's just a little...
yeah, especially with the new NC700, it's really tight. And we've been talking for some time anyway. We have some big life changes coming up in the near future. So we're actually going to be saying goodbye to Jenny's bike, Minnie.
Goodbye, Minnie. No, I love Minnie. She's been a really good bike, but she'll be less used. We can get a new one when it's time, but for now we need to get rid of her. So
Later we can get another bike if needed, but if we keep Minnie, then in the months to come she probably wouldn't get much use. But Jenny did ride her to work just about every day this last summer.
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much every day.
And her riding skills are on point.
No.
I am so impressed and proud of your riding abilities as of late. So it's been awesome. Minnie's been a great bike, zero problems, but we will be selling her. I wonder if she'll start.
She has a hard time starting in the cold anyway.
Yeah, it's really cold and it's been a couple months. We should try to start her though, because we'll need to confirm that before we can sell her.
Okay, I'll go grab the key.
Okay. Cold start. It's been since October. It's now late December.
Yeah, keep in mind, she has a hard time starting in like September.
Yeah.
In the morning when it's cold.
The battery might be getting old, so we'll see if did she prime?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
Battery's probably not doing so hot.
Let's see if it turns.
Oh. There
Just-
she goes.
Just a little sluggish.
Hey-o!
Nice. So the last thing to preserve space is the little CRF-80, which is hiding behind the old YZ here. Not actually old, but we talked about selling this one, and we might eventually, depending on how things go, but I really like this bike. It's a lot of fun to ride around.
Yeah, for everybody, like our siblings and their kids and stuff.
Yeah. We've taken it camping a couple times and shared it with the family at many events, and it's just so fun to mess around on as an adult and take kids around on. So we're going to keep it, but we could use the space in the garage, and we know we're not really going to ride it during the winter. So we're going to move it to a place that's a little more out of the way. And don't tell our landlord, but if he's watching, Craig, don't worry, because we're not starting it or anything, and it's clean and no leaks at all, I promise. So we're going to take it to the basement.
Will she fit? Oh gosh. Please be careful.
It's a perfect fit.
Okay. Don't hit your head.
This is like an AFV video waiting to happen. Whoa.
That corner is so sharp. Are we gonna be able to get her around?
Yeah. I'm putting a lot of faith in the front brake right now.
Okay, well, good thing you know all about this bike.
Oh yeah. Getting it up might be a little trickier.
Just ride it up.
Yeah, hold a wheelie.
Ta-da! Its own little
It's a perfect fit.
spot.
Look at that.
Aww.
And then we can ride
No.
circles. Okay. Well, obviously, because carbon monoxide.
Yes, that's
Hello.
why.
I don't think there's anything left to film, but make sure to stay tuned for the next one where we do the NC stuff. Thanks for watching.